congratulations. What does it mean to you to be the Sydney Sixers skipper?
Thank you. Yeah, it's obviously a huge honour. I've been a part of this club since the first ever year, and I guess to think of 18-year-old Ashley, who probably didn't really have a care in the world, was just happy to be playing cricket at that point in my career, and to now, I guess, lead a club that I absolutely love. I couldn't see myself playing anywhere in this league, and something that I'm obviously super proud of, and then to have the support of my teammates as well, and ultimately Pez, yeah, has been, I guess, an awesome experience to be involved in, and then hopefully we can bring some success back to the club this year.
Well, how did it come about, and how long have you known? Someone call you, say you want to be the skipper. How did that all pan out?
Yeah, it's obviously a really interesting one. Pez was a captain for 10 years and did an amazing job to instill so many great things within this club, and I guess a club that people wanted to play at. So for me, it was one that, was naturally probably that progression of, the longevity in cricket in itself, and then to captain one side. There was many conversations that I'd had, whether it was with Charlotte Edwards, our last coach, but then also Rach Haynes, and I guess the transition, I had an inkling, I guess, across the years that I was the next person that they were considering. So I guess for that to come to fruition, but then also to have Pez's support ultimately was something that I really wanted. And thankfully I'm good friends with her, and it was one of those conversations that I could have really open and honestly to ask her thoughts about it all, knowing that I didn't want to step on toes, and if it was something that she felt really strongly about that she wanted to do, I could understand that, but she was there to support me, and she will be for the rest of the season. So to have someone like her in my corner is amazing, and hopefully we can bring success back to the club, and then ultimately she can help me along the way.
Yeah, what were her words to you when you had that conversation? Do you remember?
It was a while ago now, to be honest. It was one of those things where I wanted to ask her, I guess, what her plans were with this club, and she's certainly not going anywhere in terms of playing. But I just wanted to ask what her thoughts were about it all. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she showed me support the whole way. She wanted the best for me personally, but also the club. So, this club means a lot to her as well. She's been the stalwart of this team. She's created so many great things, and I guess the foundation of what we've created here, and I guess why the success that we've had over the 10 years. So, she's an amazing person. She's an amazing cricketer. But I think just her character kind of shows in a lot of ways.
What kind of captain do you think you'll be, or do you want to be? And then also, another thing I hear a lot of cricketers say who step into the captaincy role, including Smudge, who's going to step up for the first game without Paddy, is they actually say it's a lot less pressure on their own game because they are thinking about everything else, so therefore they actually feel freer to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely relevant. When I've had the chance to captain other franchise teams around the world, I guess it does give you that opportunity to think about something other than yourself, which I think for my game has probably helped a little bit throughout those tournaments as well, making sure that you're keeping a really fun and enjoyable environment, which ultimately then hopefully just makes things really lighthearted and keeps that enjoyment factor about cricket, which is obviously why everyone plays, because they enjoy what they do. But I think for me as a captain, just in general, it's staying true to who I am, and then who I am as a player, as a person, and then just trying to reiterate that to my teammates, show support with whatever happens, and I guess just making sure that I'm having those really positive messages with what I say to the team, but also with my actions as well. So I don't necessarily want to change anything that I'm doing. Hopefully I can showcase that to my teammates, and then also on the field.
I feel like you just got, you did just get back from the World Cup. Have you had any time to recuperate? What have you spent your days doing?
Yeah, it's obviously been very quick. 7.5 weeks in India is certainly a long time. So when you get back to Australia, I think you just appreciate the small things, like seeing blue sky and fresh air, to be honest. It seems like really simple things, but I guess when you're not at home, they're the things that you miss. Just being around the people that you love and just having that support network, which sometimes feels like so far away when you're on tour. But I haven't done a lot, which has been really nice. Trained yesterday for the first time, so I guess getting back into the swing of things when you're deep into a season, you kind of don't want those days off necessarily to prolong for too long, because you want to I guess, get your head back into what's next. And lo and behold, the Big Bash season is here before we know it, which always seems to happen. But it's a competition that I absolutely love playing, so I'm super excited about it just in general.
Just one on the World Cup. Do you have you had time to reflect on it? And I guess as a cricket fan watching, I felt like there were so many 300 plus scores and things. Like women's cricket is kind of lifting everywhere. You guys have always been the benchmark. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, it was an incredible World Cup in so many aspects. I think just the way that the game has grown globally. You saw the support and fans that came out. India's always going to have those fanatical fans, but I think to see where the game has grown just in general and the support that all nations were getting. So for that to happen was awesome to see and awesome to be a part of. It was almost scripted the right way for India to win the World Cup on home soil. Obviously, I've been fortunate enough to win a World Cup on home soil, and I guess the elation that kind of brings, and I can only imagine, I guess, the celebrations that they've had and the feelings that they've had. In saying that, obviously, it was pretty deflating to lose to them in the semi-final. We did a lot of things right, and then we did the small things not quite right. And that's the game of cricket. Someone has to lose, unfortunately. The sun came up the next day, and it was one of those really good reflection pieces to know that we have the right personnel, we have the right team. It was just we just didn't win those moments, which they ultimately did. So, in knockout cricket, you kind of have to win those small moments. Yes, I still feel like we're the best team, but we didn't win that moment. So that's what it is. We didn't make the final, and now we focus on something else.
Heading over to Perth, I reminded you before, we all had the chat about the last game you played, which was super over, which ended up in a tie anyway. What are you expecting from them?
We always know what they bring. I feel like outside of the Sydney Derby, they're probably our biggest rivals. I feel like we've played some amazing games of cricket against them. They're always really tight contests as well. So hopefully we can, be on the better end of that. No more super overs because that's way too stressful. But I just think, I guess, the threats that they pose, they've got some amazing world-class players. They've got some real match winners within their side. So I guess it's having our plans in place, keeping things really simple. I think in this format of the game is probably paramount. T20 cricket can change very quickly. It's a very fickle format of the game. So making sure that you win those small moments, and then hopefully that has a big impact on what the game looks like.